Good morning, Apex family. Three minutes into the dark zone. Well, I guess technically 8 minutes since we don't trade before and after. Wow, it gained back a couple of days loss here already. Oh, yeah, the 3,000 level on YM. Got Jolt's job openings at 10. That's all the big news. I thought IV was down. Sure isn't acting like it. I would expect some chop at this 3,000 level, which we've had for a few minutes. I kind of expected to keep chopping. Oh, look at that mini magnet. 9, what is it? On YM, that reversal bar, 938.27, laid a mini magnet exactly on that coral-colored wall. It had everything but a TX on it. Yeah, I didn't notice it right at the time. I would have taken that one. I would have called it. For several reasons. But that's the most obvious. Here on YM, I was waiting for the TX to appear on the 30 tick. Okay, sorry about that. Had to mute out kind of quick.
Good morning, Lori. Good morning, everybody.
Thing.
Got a little late start this morning.
I was hoping YM would set up a Lorex there at that reversal, but I kind of expected it to go down to 31.24, but it didn't do it. Yeah, RTY did, but it didn't look as pretty as the YM. The RTY just seems like it's kind of meandering, doesn't know where it's going, and it's in a choppy trend up. Now, we could have chopped to get profit, but it sure was not looking good to me anyway. Oh, YM did have great HD on that 948.05 bar. Wow. Yeah, that was a super sweet one. I was busy watching RTY at that point. I'm not watching the right one at the right time. Yes, Tom, that would have been a great one. I mean, a great setup. The trade ended up working out, but the setup was excellent with nice big HD. I think we're going to be just chopping before the news here. It's getting tighter and tighter, the chop. Yeah, it does look like possible JFT on NQ. News coming out, so oh, NQ just had the most prettiest Forex. Sometimes a chart will affect the other, but not simplicity charts. Okay, time to get some tea while we're waiting for news. Yeah, Jolt's job openings. Got my eye on YM, this possible forming Lorex. It's not there yet. It's not there at all. I would love to see a mini magnet on this YM reversal bar with the Lorex, of course, but bouncing off this crash. That's YM. And of course, no setup.
Hey, Lori, do you want to answer Jason's question? Because I came in late. I don't know if anything happened before I got here.
No, nothing called yet. YM and RTY are both setting up short. Bar closes. Take your pick. That wasn't nice. It skipped me totally. Well, it was a nice thought. I mean, it wasn't quite all that fast. 13:10 to 13:12 is a 2-second bar. Oh well, next. It skipped everybody on YM. I don't know if it got people in on RTY or not. Okay, YM, are you going to set up here? No. Alrighty then. I was hoping maybe we'd get a little power play 2 here, but no. Y is looking a little intrabar scalp worthy. See if it behaves or not. Hey, it did. I didn't even say the direction would have been closing up. I haven't taught intrabar scalps yet. The Lorax was taught in the Wealth Summit live event. The more I talk about the intrabar scalps, the more I can define it better and try to get it taught eventually. Okay, so I am going to lay a Lorex on this POI and mini magnet area. This closes up. I like it for YM Lorex. Of course, it went away. No, Grant, it's not the Thunderbar. It was just a plain old scalp based on what I saw the numbers producing in the order print on that bar. PY is starting to think about setting up here. That wasn't a valid setup, Stephen, because there was no Xbox. So, no, we wouldn't have taken that one. NQ's getting a little zippy. What's going on? No, you won't see my entries and exit because my screen is not on the camera. You have to look at your own charts and follow what I'm saying if you choose. Putting the charts on camera delays it, and when we're scalping and the market's moving, we don't need any extra delays. Then they're done that. My chart is not, no, my entries are not getting delayed, but I don't have the fastest internet on the planet. Can't handle any other delays if they're besides my slower internet. I missed that YM Lorex. Vegas.
Jeff, it's moving. The room chart.
The one that skipped us all. That might have been the one that skipped us. I don't know.
Yeah, the ES room chart is moving, Jeff.
I am using Starlink as we speak, actually. It is my most stable. I've got 3 internet. Because if one goes out, I switch to one of the others, and Starlink is definitely my most stable. T-Mobile 5G. Yeah, I don't get good cell service out here. You gotta have good cell service. Supposedly I'm in the area, but yeah, for T-Mobile. Yeah, I'm just glad that it works, that Starlink works as well as it does. Oh, Jack, I have 57K.
Jeff, if you get out of the ER room and come back in, it'll reset everything for you, so you can try that.
Oh, if that's what I couldn't figure out what he was asking.
Yeah, I think
you have to exit the room and go back in.
Yeah, I think he's talking about his ES chart that's not moving, it's frozen.
It makes sense. I just wasn't following. May have to hit me over the head a few times today. Not a whole lot of sleep last night.
So for those of you who are looking at the simplicity chart and looking that there was a short indication, I would look for a pretty strong break below the 11.6 wall. Sorry, go ahead, Lori.
YM Lorex forming beautifully right now. One. Thank you very much. Let's see, where's our target? Oh, I would say that wall below us for a target. Skipped again? Wow, I got that one. I got stopped out on the trend because I was protecting pretty close.
So to continue my thoughts on that simplicity, looking for a pretty strong close break below the 11,631 wall to take this short. And you can see it's kind of like meandering around that price. Around that level, sorry. Around the wall. Where's that bat, Lori? Hit me over the head with that thing too.
And I don't think I could lift it today. I am so tired. My eyes are hurting.
Where's Thor? Where's the hammer?
Yeah, I'd like to know where Thor is. He's probably sleeping.
Nah, there he is. He's not sleeping. Victor, we're probably talking about the YM that people are getting skipped on, I'm guessing. If that's your question.
Yeah, Vegas, I'm still wondering that.
Yeah, see, Lori, Vegas and I are in the same time zone, so I'm up at like 5 a.m., so I'm sure he's probably somewhere around the same time.
The YM trade was the 1029.36 bar in YM. That was a absolutely beautiful Lorex. It didn't hit my target, but it's actually still in play because it didn't stop out for a trend, but I protected too tight.
Grant.
One scalp and one a little more than a scalp, but not much.
Grant, I was talking about the simplicity short, and still hasn't given me anything to go short.
Oh, it gave you that beautiful, well, that's YM. I was going to say, it gave you that beautiful Lorex. That's an indication that it's going to go longer term short. That was just one of the prettiest Lorexes I've seen. That was YM, so
yeah, that was YM.
If I would have done that in NQ, then I would expect it to set up and do what you want.
Yeah, on NQ we just got a Lorex long.
Oh, in NQ?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bounced right off of a ZOI. Didn't take it, but that's just what happened. So kind of just going back to saying I don't see any reason to take a simplicity short yet. Again, Grant, I wanted price to break below the 11,631 wall. And when I mean break, I wanted to close below it and then give me a signal to go long. So,
to go short.
I mean to go short, sorry. Okay, hammer time. Sorry, I'm going to be quiet now.
It's okay. Okay, I'm going to have to mute for a minute. I'm going to have some noise here.
So, Grant, yeah, exactly. So to go back to what we were talking about, if I would have taken it short at the entry that you were talking about, I would have gotten stopped out. So you kind of see where even though the signal was there, we're still looking to have the market tell us what's going on. Again, we're looking for reasons why not to take the trade, right? At least for me. So there was a lot of things telling me not to get in, even though the signal was there. The story, as Lori likes to call it, around it, was not telling enough for me to say to take the trade. It was actually telling me to stay out of it.
Okay, for a little while I'm going to have some noise, so I'll be muting on and off, but I'm here.
So while you're still here, Lori, I'm going to start explaining something, my thought process. Just act as a safety net, because I have a feeling I'm going to trip and fall a bunch of times along the way. So,
Okay.
So Grant, to kind of continue with that, I trade the simplicity pretty much the same way I trade the Lorex, where I look for very specific things, right? So I could easily just as well take every single Lorex out there and take every single simplicity, and over the long term, the probability is that it will be profitable, but I am not a grinder, so to speak. That doesn't mean I haven't done it, because I have, but in general, I do not grind the market. So I don't really want to take every single trade and then, win, lose, and kind of, you get kind of the whole idea behind it. So when I try to filter things down a little more, I try to hone in on the probability of or taking the trades of the higher probability trades. Did that make any sense? I'm listening to myself talking now. I'm not making sense to myself, so.
You're doing fine.
Lewis, yeah, we've gone through this a bunch of times. You kind of know what I look for. So when I say certain things, it's the specific criteria that I look for in the trade setup, and then where does that setup fall within the market read that I'm getting at the time. Yeah, exactly, Jack. It could be a variety of things, right? So.
See, the more he talks about what he sees with the simplicity, the more we'll be able to define what he likes and doesn't like. So have a little patience. We'll get him defining it.
Yeah, sorry, Grant. And again, I apologize for that, Lori. It's really hard to. My mouth doesn't work as fast as my brain, so when I see something, by the time I put it into words, it's either already gone or it's never showed up. So I try as much as I can, and I said I was going to try to do this on simplicity. That's why in what I have done as of late is when I see something, I'll call it and say, okay, if the price breaks below or above a certain price and I get a signal, I'll take it long. So, we can start there and then we can dive into what exactly I was looking for specifically, but yeah, if that makes sense. Correct, Mario. I do have tick strike set up tighter as well for me. Lewis, I'm trying to read your question. What do you mean? And it just flew by me. Sorry, I only have like 3 lines of text on the chat.
30-tick chart part of your read for simplicity?
Yes.
Is what he's asking.
Oh, 30-second? Not 30 tick. Well, the simplicity is a 30-second chart. I don't look at the simplicity chart for the Lorex, no.
Lewis, he doesn't have defined real well what he's looking for, but we'll get there.
Yeah, Lewis, the only thing I can say with regards to what you would call a false breakout, that's why I look for a very solid indication of a break above the price, which is usually around a straight line across all the high points of the price and, looking left of a specific area, and I need it to close above and then give me a signal to go long. So there's two things that I'm looking for. Now, that doesn't always work, but it works, a high percentage of the time.
And that's all we can ask for, because it is, after all, the market, and it's going to do what it's going to do. We just have to interpret it the best we can. Not guess, not have a preconceived notion, just look at what it's doing.
So, like, for example, where price is right now, okay, so it basically moved up to this point right here on NQ to 11,665 level. So if we were going to take this thing long, I would look for a solid close above this price with a signal to go long, because otherwise we're just going to hit this top right here, because it's been there about, let's say, 3 times, the original run up, and then it retraced a little bit, went back up again, back down, and then kind of chopped around a little bit, and then it went what perceived was to be short by Grant earlier, and then it just went back up again. So and now it's just kind of sitting here. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And you see how price is kind of like isolating around this again, close to the 1.5 level. So I wouldn't be so quick to take this thing long yet. But again, that's just me.
That implicity signal, Lewis.
Yeah, yeah, simplicity. I'm sorry, am I not, was I, wait. Yeah, I'm talking about simplicity. No, now I'm totally confused.
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Actually, volume is what I used yesterday to determine the target. Grant, I don't know if I would say specialize in simplicity. That's, that's a Daryl thing. I'm not gonna. I'm still learning it myself. I'm just kind of putting everything out there as to what's going on in my head, so you guys can kind of go along the learning process with me.
Sometimes it's really hard to say what you're looking for or what you see. You know what it is when you see it, but you can't really explain it sometimes. And so that's why we're trying to like pick his brain and have him talk about what he sees more and more. The more he talks about it, the more he'll be able to define it. And that's exactly why I'm trying to talk about the intrabar scalps a little bit more, because I want to be able to define it so I can actually teach it. So it's, you know, sometimes you see something, but you can't figure out exactly what you see. That just, it's like, yeah, I want this, but why? Well, I don't know why. So it's a challenge.
So if we go back to simplicity again, it's doing exactly what I said, right? Well, it's not what I said. It's just what I thought that was going to happen, because I don't say anything. I'm just saying what I see, and that's basically price just could not break above this level of 11,665, 6, 7, whatever, around that range, and then it just it hit it, and then it just bounced back down again. So if somebody was to go take it long, they're potentially either taking some heat or it could potentially get stopped out. So that's why I'm okay not taking that trade, and I'll just wait for another setup that looks a lot, I guess, the way Lori likes to put it, prettier. Jack, what do you mean by that?
He's asking if there'll be a webinar on intra bars, I think, not intradays. Eventually there will. I've been working on getting that defined for years though, so it might take a bit. But I've never actively talked about it a lot. So that's why I'm talking about it more and more, so I can get it defined in my brain.
And the good thing about it is,
Because
Lori,
I know what.
go ahead.
Do
Sorry.
what?
No, I was going to say the good thing about what's happening now is that as you talk about it, if we pick up on it, it's something that we can always post the videos, and then people can just kind of go back, reference it, and just kind of look at those little snippets, and then eventually put it together. And honestly, guys, that's kind of what I did with the Lorex. Before the Lorex became what it was, that's what I was doing is, watching Lori behind the scenes, and I actually was trying to figure out what was it that she was looking for before she actually put it into like a plan, right? So, and I'm not the only one. There were quite a few other people that were doing the same thing. And I think Lori knows that, because we were all, I remember, I know I did, and I think a lot of other guys were just, Skyping Lori. It's like, is this what's coming up? And, that's, remember that, Lori? I mean, I used to.
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of people doing that. Was this one? Was this one? A lot of people had it backward constructed, deconstructed. And Greg, that was already brought up yesterday, an intrabar indicator on scalping. And it actually is possible. You could actually make it so you could flag a bar that is a possibility for intrabar scalping. That was my second trade this morning, was an intrabar scalp. Okay, well, we'd have to talk about that. I can tell you what I got so far, but and you probably could add to it. So that would be a good thing. The thing I love about Greg programming this stuff is I can say just a little bit and he's like off and running with it. He gets it. Some people do pre-market. Vegas, mostly the 10, but I have looked at the 30, and it sometimes, if it is screaming intrabar scalp, I'll scalp it. I don't want to go over the intrabar scalp yet, because what happens is people don't have all the information they need, because I've only defined a part of it, because I don't have it in my head yet, and then they try to scalp and they lose horribly. So I won't go over the intrabar scalp. The other two were just a Lorex, what I really liked for a Lorex. So, oh darn, that YM. Had I saw that, that would have been an audible short at 10:48.36. Missed it. Sorry. Do you have the access to the Lorex? If you have the wealth management recordings, you could have seen the Lorex forming on those two Lorexes that I called. For full disclosure, I am now in sim because I've got my goal and then some met. So that's what I think is one of the best parts of this room is you get the going over these setups live as they're happening. So you know it's not, well, after the fact, sure, it's easy to point out, and yeah, that looked good, but you get it while it's happening. Oh, yeah, that I like that upsetty spaghetti. Yeah, that getting skipped bites big time. But there will be more. That's why I'm still sitting here watching them, calling them when I see them. See if we can get you some more. I'm in sim, and hopefully I won't be naughty and switch back because I've met my goals. I do that once in a while, and that's a bad thing. Lorex is not added to the TA yet. You'd have to use the TX at this point and just filter it out yourself. I think that they're working on getting the Lorex working on the TA. I'm not going to swear to it. Pretty sure they are. Okay. I couldn't remember. Well, let's talk to it, Greg. Come on. Yeah, that's number one on the priority list for sure. Lorex working on setting up on NQ, RTY. And NQ profited already. If you were quick enough to get in that one, geez. I didn't even see that second bar form. I blinked and it was on the third. Quite literally. Probably didn't get in. Oh yeah, NQ profited, let's see, 10:55. It profited in 5 seconds. Seriously? You got some slow charts then. Wow. I mean, it was a 5-second trade. Okay, then stay. If you were one that just happened to, with when I said it profited, yours was still forming, do not trade NQ today. Stay away from it if it's doing that for you. That is the way to kill an account really fast. Ooh, and YM is working. Nope, forget it. Never mind. It canceled. Well, the room charts can easily be delayed, so be careful.
Yeah, I actually got that NQ Lorex. It only took it on one account though, and that trade was in for 7 seconds to be exact.
Mine was 5. I mean, literally, there was 5 seconds between the close of the setup bar and the close of the second bar after that. Wild. Yeah, if your NQ is slow, it's either your computer's just having a little difficulty, or your internet, one of the two. Yeah, it could be. I mean, there was a time when, if NQ moves really fast and has a lot of bars to process, it's not out of the question for the majority to be a little bit behind. I mean, mine was before I got this new one. Not a lot, but just a little tiny bit. Everybody make sure your time is synced, because that can make a difference. I would love to see YM go up a little more. It's probably going to. This mini magnet, little more likely to close up than down, but it could go either way pretty easily. Oh, you got an SLZ on YM. Oh, come on. Go up just a little bit more, lay a mini magnet and a Lorex, and then fall. This is an SLZ forming on YM. I love it. Now we've got a Lorex starting to form on RTY, but it's not quite forming on YM. There we go. RTY made it. YM did not have a full setup, I don't think, but RTY had a Lorex. That profited. Yay. Okay, now I got to put it in Global Sim again because that was me being bad.
Hey, Jason.
Nice, Richard.
Have you gone through the boot camp yet to where you really get the firm understanding of sniper? Because that's basically like the basis for everything. And Lori can, jump in because Lorex is her thing. But
it's exactly, it is sniper on steroids. Is basically, if you've gone through the what was the other one? Thrive. It talks about no-brainers and teaches how I read the market. And Lorex is a build on that. Okay, this RTY is likely going to take that mini magnet below out. Not enough room to make it worth trying to take the bar as an an intra-bar scalp.
Yeah, Jason, you won't see the Lorex in the boot camp. You have to get the Wealth Summit. But, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to recommend that, get sniper down cold, and because it'll just make it a lot better. You can go ahead and get the Lorex, but for it to really make sense to you, make sure you get sniper down. And the reason I say this is because
you have to know sniper.
Yeah, and the reason I say this is because it makes it a whole lot easier to trade, and especially now we're going to get into like the whole psychology part of it. But if you are hesitant or not 1,000%, convicted in your beliefs in a system, you're going to fail. And we don't want that. So, and the only way that you're going to be secure about, executing your trades is you have to make sure that you know them down cold. And there's a process you need to go through for yourself to make sure that you believe in the system, you know that it works. Basically, you can do it, with your eyes shut and not even think about it. And it's basically just becomes instinctive. And when you see it, you don't question it. Like for me, when I see a setup, I don't question it. I go into it because I know that what I'm looking for and my setup has been tested and it's been proven. And there's been thousands of trades before me that have proven that the system works. So I know that when I execute it, there's never any hesitation. And if the trade fails and I executed it 100% flawlessly, I had nothing to do with it because the market's going to do whatever it's going to do. So, Lori, your thoughts on that? I guess her thoughts are to put the mute button on.
As I step away to get some more tea, you're asking my opinion. You're doing fabulous. Oh, HD RTY with a Lorex? Yeah. Not, yeah. Wow. Just Nice. If um, if RTY closes up and holds everything.
So, Jason, to go back to just to continue what I'm saying, and I've used this analogy many times, and I'm sure a lot of people can either going to get sick of me saying it, but it is what it is, right? It's kind of like the old skyscraper, building the skyscraper analogy. You need to make sure you have a really good solid foundation before you start stacking things on top of it, because by the time you get to the 100th floor, if somewhere along the line, during 20 to 30, 40 floor level, you didn't, make it sound as a structure, the whole thing is going to collapse on you. So you want to make sure that once you do get to the Lorix, because that's like the latest thing that came on and that's on top of Sniper, you want to make sure that you know the basis and the foundation so that when you stack the Lorix on top of it, your whole system's not going to crash. And when I mean system, it means your whole trading system.
Yeah, the Lorix, there was not a Lorix on this reversal bar. It did not, it does not have 30 ticks. TX. Come on, get up there, but I'm in it anyway.
On RTY?
Yeah.
That's funny because I'm in it too.
Up there. Just about there. Zip up now. It's time. Go. R2I. Burst up there. Come on.
It'll get there.
No more. Yeah, but I don't have the patience.
Trust the system.
Okay. That's easy to say when your internet doesn't go out all the time. I want out of the trade.
Yeah,
and it won. Thank you very much. Okay.
Now, just full disclosure.
I didn't care if it wasn't a full Lorix, but I wanted it. And so, yeah.
So, full disclosure, I am testing some stuff out today and actually this week. So I'm only trading one account, and it's actually doing quite nicely.
So, by the way, I double scalped that. I put my trail, I put it at that cluster where it's at right now because it wasn't a full setup and there was a few things about it that I wasn't real crazy about for like thinking it might be a 100-tick run or something. I didn't think that. So, yeah, it may get up to this wall. That would be my ultimate target, but yeah, since that was me being bad and taking it in live again, and I wasn't supposed to, I decided I didn't want to take a chance. That's 2 extra trades I called. So if you didn't get into the first 2, other ones to make up for it.
So yeah, I think I'm done for today.
Yeah, I know I am. In Global Sim, I'm not flipping out of it again.
Again, I only traded one account today, so. Because when I'm testing stuff, and it's not 1000% confirmed, I'm not going to risk all my accounts on it. I'm willing to risk one. So yeah, I said that I was testing.
Different different settings in Lorex.
Yes.
So to see if we like it, it hopefully if it does, then we'll make that template or let you know update the indicator or whatever we need to do. It's helping to test that.
So basically, that was for 3 trades today, 2 on NQ and 1 on RTY. So basically 3-0. See you, Vegas.
How many contracts at a time are you trading, Ron?
Depends on the account.
Right now, you're trading one account. How many contracts?
Oh, and the one I just did, 6.
Okay.
So, Jason, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to answer that question. And this is me. This is how it is for me, okay? I don't care what the market is doing, whether it's going up, down, sideways. I have a specific setup criteria that I look for, and if based on what the market is telling me, I'll either take the trade or I won't. So the overall market trend, whether it's trending, well, whether it's going up or down, shouldn't matter, because with Sniper, we're looking to get 10 ticks out of the market. That's our goal, is to scalp it, right? So we need to make sure that we get the right signals of entry, and do we have a target that we could get to without a problem. And it doesn't really matter whether the market's going up or down, because those 10 ticks aren't going to make a big difference on the overall market trend. Does that make sense? Sort of? Kind of?
Makes very good sense. The one comment I'll add to that is, if all of the indices are going crazy one direction, we don't want to go against that.
Yeah, so just because something
Other
is...
than that.
Yeah, so just because the market's going up, and if it's just shooting straight up, I haven't seen it yet, but then again, I haven't been doing this that long, but the likelihood of us getting a trade to go with that uptrend is pretty slim, unless you get a retracement and then another signal to go back up. And you got to be careful, because you don't know if you reach the top, and then is it, going to turn back around and go against you. So
that's why we love HD in trends, because that gives you a pretty darn good idea if it's going to continue to go. If it's got hidden divergence, there's a really good chance it's going to continue to go in the trend direction. And if you just get in on any old one that, to get in with the trend, yeah, you're whatever. You're going to have to maybe grind.
Yeah, so with that, if the trend's going up and it's solid up, when you have an entry to go up, then yeah, you could take it because you're going to go with it. Obviously, the trend is your friend, right? I mean, like Lori said, you're not going to want to go against it unless you've got good reason and something is, unless you know that you've hit a stack, a pretty strong stack where there's a bunch. I mean, it's like hitting a brick wall, where it's the probability of it reversing at that point and going down or against a uptrend is high, then you'd want to take it. So just to go back to what we talked about with simplicity earlier, look at what simplicity looks like now. It's just a mess. So we never really got a good solid break above that imaginary line of 11,666.65 or what have you. And so Grant, if you're still in here, remember we talked about that. Why not to go long? Now we know. So it's easy to look back now and say, oh yeah, good thing we didn't do it, right?
Jason, your average sniper trade lasts a lot less than 5 minutes. That doesn't mean just because it's quick, it doesn't mean it's going to go in your favor. You really have to, if you're following the sniper rules, you really have to follow them. Following the sniper system, you really have to follow the rules.
And depending on the market, I mean, in NQ, a sniper trade can last anywhere between 3 to maybe 10 seconds if you're lucky. That's on NQ.
Favorite kind.
And that's a Lori trade. Anything that happens within a blink of an eye, then Lori's all over it. Like for me, for example, the simplicity trade I was in yesterday, that was 22 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Lori would have no fingernails, hair, nothing. She'd be done. I mean, it's,
Be on the floor passed out. Seriously, I could not. I can't do it.
Yeah, and I actually had my accountability partner in the background. It's like screaming. It's like, get out of the trade. And it's like, no, I want my target. It's like,
that is awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
Determination. I mean, you had your setup, you had what you were looking for, you even stated what you were looking for in advance. It happened, and you stuck to your guns. Just because you're in the trade does not mean the things around you changed. So you stuck to what you saw, and that's amazing. It doesn't get better than that. Oh, yeah, Greg, I remember 10-tick scalps would take a while. Yeah. I remember those summer days. Yeah, I cannot sit in a 10-tick scalp for, geez, if it's more than 5 minutes, I've lost it. My marbles, that is. Way back a couple of systems ago, which means many years ago, it was probably within the first 2 years that I was trading, and so that'd be like 6 years ago. I would watch Daryl take these, like he does with Simplicity, take these huge trends and is like, oh man, I want to know when those are happening. Don't we all? Right? So even way back then, I would look at, after the fact, I looked at these big trends and I tried to dissect what happened before a big trend so I could recognize it. And basically, over the years, it's continually developed. And that's basically what you've got with the Lorex. I mean, you know, there are different reads, there's different stories around the setup that will make it or break it. Sometimes they just start looking like a scalp. Okay, I'll just take the scalp and be happy, fine. Sometimes they'll go and rival Simplicity for ticks. I mean, they just can keep going. But I wanted to know, I wanted to be able to recognize what happens in the market before these big trends. So for 6 or 7 years, I've been studying that. I want the ones that get in, go fast, get out, take the ticks and run. And that's what I'm always working on developing. Loot and scoot, yeah, that's perfect. The 4-hour Forex trades, yeah, no thank you. I could not do that.
I have a question for everybody in the room. Since most of us are still in here, I don't have a breakdown or time frame for today's recording. In other words, like the different points to cover, like an index, if you would. You guys want, I mean, do you think that there's enough information in here that you guys want me to post today's video? Because usually I haven't been posting unless there's something that's, you know, specific that's discussed. So I just wanted to get feedback of what you guys want. And also, by the way, I won't be here tomorrow, Lori. You wanted me to remind you, so.
Oh, I'm glad you reminded me. I would have forgotten. On the text part of that post, just put scattered gold nuggets throughout the morning or something.
Yeah, bring your pick and strainer.
No kidding. Oh, R2I and Lorex are setting up at the same time. R2I looks a little bit better. It actually set up. No absorption X or OPR though, or mini magnet or paw.
Yeah,
So
not
I'm
for
not
me.
loving it.
Yeah, not for me. Nothing on that one.
One thing I like about this is the cluster is on an old ZOI. That's one positive in that. But yeah, I would not take this one in RTY, and YM is not setting up yet. They were trying to at the same time, but they didn't do it.
Yeah, Lewis, I actually put CL on the back burner right now, just because I've got so much stuff going on. Um, I'm looking at a bunch of things and I'm also testing stuff. So once I get things back up to where it's more streamlined, then I'll be able to look at CL again. But with what I'm doing right now, looking at three markets is, um, yeah, it's a lot. I've
Exactly.
I've added a lot of stuff to my setup too, and there's a bunch of stuff going on. Um, it was hard with 8 monitors to look at, and I'm not even going to get into how the setup is now. But yeah, it can be overwhelming until I kind of get my head around everything.
TDS on RTY? I don't see it. Guessing it. Oh, never mind. Okay, so it went away. Alrighty. No, there's no news. Those oddball FOMC members speaking don't make a difference. I mean, be aware of it, but don't stay out of a trade for it. Oh, yeah, that was a sweet RTY. I was, sorry, not looking at RTY. That is the bad thing about looking at multiple markets. You miss stuff. Now RTY just looks ugly. I mean, I wouldn't be looking for anything past this mini magnet given the setup. It was good, but it wasn't extra special. Oh, it was HD. Oh, wow. Alrighty then. Um, Grant, it's the market has been going up in RTY. So, well, yeah, if you're looking at just the ODD numbers, the last one was 1164. This one is 6056. It didn't come down as far as the 1164, so it went, you had a higher low, but the volume was higher, so that counts. It was even, the last retrace in RTY on the 30 tick was even HD.
Laura, you still here?
Yep.
Okay, it's almost noon. I'm gonna call it. I got a bunch of things I still need to do. I'll as soon as I'm out of the room, I'll render the video and then I'll post it, and then I'll be back on Thursday.
That's right. Thanks for that reminder again. I probably won't remember in the morning either. I'll just wonder where you are until 10 o'clock, and then I'll remember, oh, yeah, he's not here today.
So thanks again for everything today, everybody. It's kind of funny. I don't think you guys even realize how much I learned every single day as well. And I thank you guys for asking the questions and making me think. And yeah, I'm actually growing with you guys, believe it or not. So thank you for that, and thanks, Lori, for everything. And I will see you guys on Thursday.
I'm out of here as well. Almost noon. I'll see you guys tomorrow, though.